Oh, that's Neverwinter. Worst MMO ever, 52. Neverwinter? That's Valindra. Valindra was like the first boss ever.
This video is going to hurt me, because Neverwinter Online was my main MMO for many years.
Does that mean I might have even played with this person before?
Difficult years, and it helped get me through them. I became obsessed with this game. I was one of the highest ranked hunter rangers there was. In fact, this entire YouTube channel began because I wanted somewhere to put my Neverwinter dungeon guides. If you sort my videos by oldest first, you'll still find them. And I think we've come a long way in terms of video quality.
Hi YouTube, I'm Josh Strife Hayes, and this is a guide to Demogorgon, our Neverwinter Online. When we get her health down to a certain level, which is not too far, she'll return to the middle of the arena, and energy will sprout from her like that. When that happens, run to the edge. Two things we now need to deal with. The ghosts flying around and the red strips of damage. So the tank is going to keep Orcus facing forward. I'm going to get behind him as a DPS and then do as much damage as I can as fast as I can. You cannot take many hits from Orcus. I can take 2 until I die. So I do not want to take any damage from this guy whatsoever. See how he raises his arms there? We're all about to take damage. That's the big damaging attack, and now we see what's happened. So what he's done, he's joined myself and Lux together by that beam. As soon as that happens, you have maybe a second or two just to wait and attack him. Use that second when he's not doing anything to get some real DPS in.
Some of my longer time viewers may even remember the original Twitch streams, always opening with, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, I'm Josh Strife Hayes, an English Hunter Ranger, and today we'll be playing Neverwinter." But times change. Games change, people change, and I'm far more well-travelled in the MMO world than I was back then. I know the warning signs of a dying game, the abusive mechanics meant to keep you playing long after the fun has stopped, the predatory cash shops and pricing structures meant to make you spend just a little bit more, to be mathematically abusive, the ability to buy power and bypass all of that pesky gameplay. This video
some MMO YouTubers have been hyping Lord of the Rings online lately. Oh, I didn't hear good things about that one. I thought it was actually bad.
It was going to hurt me, and that's okay, because it's not about me. It's about the genre, the players. It's about holding what I love to a higher standard and not being blinded by personal connection or nostalgia. This episode of Worst MMO is going to be slightly different, because while I will be able to give an impartial review of the opening and discuss the mechanics while maintaining an emotionless distance, I'm also then going to be able to show you one of the most pay-to-win predatory monetization systems in any game with examples. Because with Neverwinter,
because I made so many friends with this game, that's why it gets me so emotional.
If you've ever been upset that I've torn down your favourite MMO, sit back and enjoy some well-earned revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife Hayes, and this is Worst MMO Ever, a series where I play the worst MMO games I can find so you don't have to. Drop a like on the video or sub to the channel for more MMO stuff. Ring the bell for all the future notifications. And, as usual, a massive thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep the channel alive. More on how you can support at the end. For now, let's begin. Today we are playing the action combat MMO.
We're still on queue for P2.
Neverwinter. It's on Steam and it's free, so let's give it a try. The first thing many people ask is, Neverwinter? As in Neverwinter Nights? Well, no, not exactly. Same setting, vastly different game.
Nice.
Neverwinter Online is an official Dungeons & Dragons game set in the Forgotten Realms campaign setting, but there's very little actually tying it to the Dungeons & Dragons mechanics. Things share names and there's hints for fans, but if you're expecting a game which honors the rule set or the spell effects, you're out of luck. Game starts. Create a character. You've only got 2 possible character slots. Remember this for later. First off, we choose a race. You've got the standard human, elf, half-orc. Each race has racial bonuses. But you've also got premium races, like Mesobaranzan Renegade, Dragonborn, or the exceptionally powerful metallic Ancestry Dragonborn. And if you're thinking, hang on, does this mean there's an objectively best race to play, and it's going to cost you a lot of money to unlock that race?
Yes.
Yes. It means
you have to pay for the best race so you can get extra points.
A lot of money to be the best, and we'll look at the total cost later because it is staggering. Along with the race, you'll pick a class. You've got 9 to choose from. Your standard melee barbarian, your tanky paladin, stealthy rogue, useless bard. I'll go with a wizard because I know they specialise in battlefield control and status effects, and I know that's going to be useful. Now we get to choose our ability score to make it look even more D&D.
Like, you would see people like endgame players who would like grind to get something for hours and hours. And then they'll give it like a week or something. And then before you know it, they just put it on the Zen market. And anybody who got money can buy it. You can just go and buy the thing, the same item that people grind to get for weeks and weeks. It's insane.
When Neverwinter released, you actually got to re-roll these. They weren't actually random. There were about 6 different presets, and you just re-rolled until you got the one you wanted. But now, you just choose one of 2 preset boosts. The face customization is pretty good. You've got a lot of control and features to define. I mean, you'll be wearing a helmet for almost all the game, and combat is action-based, so no one will ever see your face.
There wasn't a lot of other games like it, to be fair. So it was straight up like instant favorite for me. There was nothing else. I mean, I didn't even know about 14. If I did, I wouldn't play this game for freaking 7 years.
Decent enough character
I didn't
creator.
know about 14.
You then choose your starting city and which god you want to worship. This is purely fluff and has no mechanical impact on the game whatsoever. And now we get to watch the intro movie.
The intro was nice. The intro doesn't even exist anymore. So I'm just like, what happened to the story? McDonough, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I'm just like, what happened to the story? The cutscene was just like really up there. It was really good.
Hasn't changed in 8 years. If you played Neverwinter back in release in 2013, you watched this movie. And at the time, all of the characters shown in the movie were the classes you could play. So it was thematically tying the mechanics of the game to the intro movie. Who wouldn't see this and be like, yeah, I want to play this, and it's free to play. We have a full party? Outdated because those classes don't work like that, and there are new classes that aren't featured in the film. Also, the intro is all about Valindra, which is weird because they've changed some intro stuff that they didn't need to. We'll get to that in a minute. It's still nice to watch, but it's just not connected to the storyline. At least not anymore. Game starts. WASD movement, space to jump. Pressing shift dodges. Dodging is an automatic animation cancel from any attack and uses up the stamina shown in the upward pointing chevron above the D20 themed action point gauge to the bottom center of the screen. And I do have to admit, this opening tutorial is excellent. We are washed up on a beach after the Draco Lich attacked, and now we need to fight our way out. The NPCs are all voiced, and the quest direction is given, and then there's a sparkling path leading you to your objective. All objectives are also shown on the minimap with highlighted areas so you know where to be. Navigation...
would get sick from Warframe movement system? What do you mean? Because it's is it one of those first-person type games? Yeah, those make me sick after a while. I can't play them for too long. And Diablo 3 was like that when it launched. They purposefully made 99% of generated items worthless because of the random stats rule. Warframe is complicated to learn.
Is great. Your basic attacks, called your at-will powers, are bound to left and right click, while your encounter powers are on Q,
it's a lot of effects going on, I see.
Encounter powers are abilities with cooldowns, because in D&D, encounters are combat situations.
Man, I love this job. This is my favorite job. Control wizard.
Lifts up enemies and chokes them in midair, which is it's an
RPG.
We then meet Mako, the tiefling.
I don't know, the Warframe name made it sound like makes it sound like it's like a war type, like first-person type shooters game.
And fight together to escape, crossing this burning bridge, leveling up and getting new encounters as we go. The early experience is great, and to this day I still judge other action combat systems against Neverwinter. It didn't do much right, but the combat, it nailed. Animation cancelling dodges, battlefield control skills, perfect enemy mob sizes, dangerous enough smaller swarms, hard-hitting enemies, AoE, actually threatening early game encounters. Neverwinter is a brilliant example of action combat done right. I think that's why I played it for so long.
That's why I can't get behind 14's
he falls off his horse, and now there's 2 enemies.
System.
I love mechanics like this. It makes sense that there would be 2 enemies. And if you're an old player, you'll remember that now Private Wilfred charges across the bridge and shouts Valindra! Except no, that doesn't happen. It's now Mako that does that. But they haven't changed Mako's running animation. They've just put his texture over Wilfred's body, so he looks like he's moving differently. I don't understand why they did this. I liked Wilfred, but okay. And now we take on the first elite enemy, and this is another reason I adore the combat.
Oh, we have a full party, sorry. They freaking changed the story. I can't with this game. A video on the worst games ever, worst MMO ever, and the lucky candidate today, or in this video, is Neverwinter, and I play Neverwinter, so I was getting a bit nostalgic and excited at the same time. And maybe we might not get to watch it after all. And why is this video so high up? Okay, I almost ended the stream by accident. Okay.
Dodge out of the enemy's attacks if you time it correctly. Skill does matter in Neverwinter, at least until
Friday
the cash
Eve,
shop
exactly.
gets involved.
The
Finally,
way
we
this week
arrive
has
in
been
Protector's
long,
enclave
I
and
know.
get told to go and talk to
know.
Sergeant Knox, the guy in charge.
Sir
Older
Knox,
players will remember him being
Sir
down a
Knox was
side
one of
street
the
by
biggest
Lord
reasons why I
Neverwinter.
played this game, right? He was like a POC NPC. I was like, oh my gosh, black people are in games. I got so excited.
But no, now he's head of the Adventurers Guild. Knox orders the mount seller to give us a free mount. And here's an interesting thing. Mounts aren't just transport based. You get to keep all your mounts in your stable. And mounts
taking
also
out my hair
increase
this
your base
weekend. Oh,
movement.
how long have you had it in? This one I tend to like take it down. Well, I haven't kept this over a month. But I take it down, wash my actual hair, and then put it back in again. But it's crochet anyway. About to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Enjoy.
Speed, your mounted movement speed, and
I don't
each
get that
mouse
game.
has an
I
attack
don't get it at
in
all.
combat. And you can mix and match all these effects. So if I own 3 mounts, I can have
This
the
is
foot speed
very
increase
hard to
from
configure
one,
as
the
well,
graphical
because
and
they use
riding
like
speed
enchantments, so you have
increase
to
of
get like the
another,
right
and the
enchantments to go with
combatability
them.
of another. It's a real free-form system, and it sounds great, but we'll see how
Yu-Gi-Oh!
predatory it is soon. Nox sends us to complete basic training. This apparently means going to space and fighting a training dummy. Not a huge fan
I've
of
never
this
seen
style of
this.
story design. It's not woven seamlessly
I've never
into a
seen
narrative.
this.
It's very specific. Okay, this is the training bit. It's taken the player away from the action. It's interrupted the flow of the adventure, the
This is
world,
new.
the characters. It's just stuck me in a pocket dimension and said, hey, here's a tutorial. It's a very college student's first game way of getting this knowledge across to the player. This is the laziest...
And there's Sir Knox in the background. Who is this? It's not Sir Knox. It's Instructor Corbin. Like screaming at the player. Give me 1 second. Somebody sent me a DM. And the water in the background here is can you lower or invite 585? Let me ask the party member. I don't mind, but do you all want me to invite 585? Anybody else use Windows Game Bar and having issues with it? Because it's driving me mad. Absolutely mad. No, you don't have issues with it. Mine is always acting buggy. I mean, don't even... Oh! Okay, that's 1 yes and 1 no. And there's what? How many people here? 2, 4, 6. There's 6 of us. Okay, let me ask them what job. If it's the DPS job, then yes. Then no. Okay. Because honestly, I feel like I'm always stuck in this fight because I'm always allowing this. Oh, I can't message the person anymore? I can't message them anymore. Okay.
possible way you could have done this. Now, one of my favourite aspects of the combat system. Each class has a different tab power. Pressing tab does different things depending on who you are. The paladin holds up his shield to block and has a block meter. The rogue turns invisible for a limited amount of time for stealth attacks. And the wizard can put any encounter power onto tab, and now that power gains an additional effect. So instead of pushing one enemy back, I now push a mob back. It's a great way to help the classes feel unique. Your tab power is your defining feature. Now we're shown daily powers, which despite the name aren't actually usable daily. They're just names to tie in with the 5th edition.
I thought they were daily
the
too
lower
for
center
so long.
D20 icon fills up as we fight, and then your daily
so
powers can
epic.
be used when it's full. Bound to the
So
1 and
epic.
2 keys, the wizard can create an arcane singularity which pulls in then damages all enemies, which is super cool to watch and great for controlling the battlefield. Training done, and we're off to Neverdeath Graveyard. There's zombies and a cult to deal with, because apparently this is the DM's first adventure and they've stuck to the classics. Pressing M opens the city map, and interacting with the gate on the edge of any map opens the world map. Neverwinter is not one huge open world, it is many smaller maps connected via fast travel. You've got a load of familiar D&D locations, the Underdark, the Feywild, Icewind Dale, they're all here, but as you level up and do campaigns you will eventually have a different hub city, which is why Protector's Enclave seems so dead. In Neverdeath we are given a quest to help some Doom guys, and our reward will be a level. You see, recently they've had a bit of an update. You don't gain experience in Neverwinter, you don't grind mobs or repeatable quests. You get given levels for following the main storyline, so you kind of have to. And they've squished it down so the max level is 20, which again relates to 5th edition D&D. Your extra encounter powers are also level locked, so following the main questline is the only way to become more powerful. Unless you buy a boost from the shop, which we'll get to soon.
Of course.
So let's look at where we are.
Buy a
free Dungeons and Dragons themed action MMO
there must be money
with
involved
decent intro
somehow.
sequence, shoehorned in combat
There must be money
tutorial
involved
with
somehow.
fluff and flavours of D&D and a top
And this is why I'm on so many people's blacklist. Oh my God. No wonder this person said no wonder this person said to reduce the thing to 580. Oh my gosh. Why am I like this? What is wrong with me? Oh my God. No wonder they say to reduce it to 585. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's multiple. That's it. Before you know it, I'm on everybody's. That's what 3 people that just added me to their blacklist because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Quick reclare. Yeah, maybe I should put the user macro. Yo, I can't even stream without music anymore. It's so bad. Like I have to have something playing in the background. User macro. P3. Okay. Now we hope for the best. Okay.
top-notch combat system with well-defined early game story arc.
Are you serious? Does anybody join?
Accidentally
make it
and if I didn't know better, I would probably be lavishing praise on it, but I do know better. I know what this becomes, and I'm going to show you proof of how pay-to-win this is. Neverwinter was my Twitch and YouTube career for a long time. I don't regret playing it for as long as I did.
It was so much fun streaming, I swear to God.
But this is the game which made me realise it's the systems hidden underneath the facade.
Like the community wasn't like massive
because they are the true spirit of the game. What the developers are
but the few of them that did exist were very sort of like wanted to play with you.
Neverwinter plays great. Many MMOs do, but underneath, this game is all about the money. But hey, look, new daily attack, Ice Knife, which is great. It just rams a massive ice knife through your opponent, smashing them into the floor. Every time I start to hate the game, the combat drags me back in, and I have to try, really try, to be objective here. Because look, the first Red Wizard of Thay boss is actually really tough. I have to use my potions to survive, and the game only gives you 10, meaning consumable management in the early game matters. And it will keep mattering, right up until the cash shop gets involved. And when that wizard dies, he drops some purple loot, which throws me, because purple is epic, and I'm level 2. But okay, I guess this is the stat squish loot change. You've also got a journal which tracks all your accepted quests and later will show your campaign progress. Journal is great, easy to read, nice layout, easy to switch which quest is being tracked, no problems here at all. Small touch I do like, some of the quests are funny. Like here, I'm trying to find a new home for a sarcastic, confrontational lich's phylactery. I'm basically an undead estate agent and he's rejecting homes based on the decor. It is nice to see when D&D games don't take themselves too seriously. Around the world you might find some skill checks, little treasure caches which require a certain class ability to interact with, so any arcane stacks I can loot, rangers can loot nature checks, rogues can loot trap caches, or you can buy a pack to let you loot other classes' specific halls. Not worth much in the early game, get more valuable as you do play through. Hand in the quest, get some new gear, get sent out on more quests, and well, this is when the cracks start to show through, where the weaknesses become more apparent in the actual construction of the game. Like how, if you look, you're not actually standing on the floor. You're hovering above it. This is the opening zone, and they've not mapped the physical floor to the bridge model, because the bridge is slanted in a weird way. You are just kind of hovering. There's a lot of small graphical touches that make the whole thing seem
it's not just you,
unpolished.
Even the
like
NPCs
how
are floating.
Absolutely awesome fight inside a mausoleum with dodging and healing and using powers.
One day I'll just update my Neverwinter and just stream it. It will happen. I'd suggest either Arcanist. Ooh, did you ask me something? It's my first time. I don't play MMOs ever. Because from there you have like options for jobs or Archer. Knowing the game is now, I've picked help learn when I first started. Oh, sorry, I missed the original question. I think. Let me see. How do I? Yeah, there. This is your first MMO playing. What are you usually playing other games? I see.
Hitting mobs and wizards and elite enemies, and then you leave, and the game does this strange zoom in thing. Like the camera stayed in the tomb map and had to manually catch up with me.
I thought my PC was just really
Around
old.
the world, you'll also find some campfires. Standing in one slowly heals any injuries, and you can pray to your chosen god once every few minutes, generating some consumable items or weekly coins you can spend on some junk. You'll also respawn here if you die. Hand in a few more quests and get sent to the Tree of Souls. Have to defend this priestess while she blesses certain areas of the graveyard to remove all the evil magic. Actually some quite challenging fights, because the enemies make a beeline for her and not me. So I'm trying to control the battlefield, so we finish faster. And then she blesses the tree and we get this lovely graphical shift in the weather from dark and dismal to sunny and happy. Actually a really nice transition. We're now told to go to Pauper's Field Tomb and... okay. This is where my long-term player bias works against me.
It's
like
Castle Never.
If you've ever played this game, you'll notice it too.
Castle Never?
Pauper's Field Tomb is Castle Never. Well, it was Castle Never.
I was like, what is
It's the old Castle Never epic dungeon map. They just used a small part of it. They do this a lot. Kind of like how one of the nobles' estates is just...
This is like the better phase Castle Never, and they just like put a different name on it.
The Guild Castle map.
They didn't even bother to make it different
with
in any way.
It is a reskin of one of the old tavern maps. Newer players won't notice, and of course for them it looks great, but I notice. They've had the same intro movie for 8 years and they're reusing old dungeon maps presented in a new way and calling it an update. It's not an update, it's just recycling. It's like how they removed 7 or 8 dungeons a couple of years ago and then slowly released them, touting them as new content. They weren't new, they just reskinned old. Fighting through this sanitized, neutered Castle Never makes me incredibly sad. This map used to mean fear, adrenaline, mobs galore, AoE spamming, constant healing. It used to mean excited action combat. Now it's a low-level run. When people say to me, yeah, but my game used to be good, I know what you mean.
Honestly, the devs did not care. Which is weird because they're getting so much money from the player base. You would think that maybe they would like, do something that the players wanted. It's so pay to win. They just remove and take things out as they wish. And they didn't care about the players at all.
What it used to be good means. I'm looking at it right now. But here's the thing. We can't recommend games based on how they used to be because new players aren't playing through our memories They're playing through the game's reality as it is now. We have to look at it as it is now, judge it as it is now. So let's have a look at some reviews.
And called it an update.
Since its beginning,
I mean, maybe it was buggy before, but this one, the game was already perfect.
There's just too many
initially.
things that don't work. Listing them all would be pointless. Has nothing to do with D&D. Never really did. And the potential that was there in the beginning is now lost in a mountain of updates. Stories not fully developed, bad matchmaking, events that don't even make sense, and enough. This is making me sad. For what it is, it's a very decent free-to-play MMO. The in-store content isn't pushed super hard, combat is fun and engaging, if a little repetitive. Fans of the D&D books and lore will enjoy themselves. With every patch, game is getting worse. Currently, it's a cash grab on life support. They will sell best gear for dollars.
Champ Homeboy, thank you so much for the biddies. Appreciate it. Hello.
I'm picking up FF more cause of your streams.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing okay. Happy Thursday. 1 second. Let me check on PF or move my character before I go AFK again. Thank you. What data center do you play on? Somebody came in, said nice to meet you, and then left. Interesting. But there's other players as well. Or other PF. But, yeah. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing good. I guess we could... with love, no salt. Okay. We can join this party if we want, right? It's also 590. Or they could join us. We'll wait. Let's see. We'll wait. Yeah.
And then nerf it a few months later to sell you the new best thing. It pains me to write this review, over 3,000 hours on record. The game is awesome, or to be more precise, was awesome. Unfortunately, the developers decided not to listen to the players, and with the new update, Neverwinter Online will become probably the only MMORPG where you actually get punished if you improve your gear. They call it scaling. Who in their right mind plays an MMORPG only to be punished for their success?
That was when I stopped playing.
Not very rewarding. As
so
always, Cryptic Studio.
People, like, imagine you, like, you being like a level 90 player and having to compete with somebody who's level 10, but because they do like a percentage system, like with somebody who's level 10 has got like they've peaked like their item level. Maybe if you're level 10, your item level max can be like, let's say 100, and level 90 can be like 900. Because you've hit that 100% max, you're playing on the same level. It makes no sense. So somebody who's like level 10 can join the same level with the same dungeon as you, and they might even outperform you because they managed to have 100% of their item level when you have like maybe 60%. It makes no sense whatsoever.
And Perfect World Entertainment having disgusting monetization system. The game is enjoyable for the first time you play it. However, after you achieve the max level, you either need to dump huge amounts of cash into it or you won't be accomplishing much. Therefore, you are in a dead end. If you play it, you either screw yourself to pay for it and stay relevant, or you don't buy anything and remain a noob
so much for
forever.
the follow.
I found myself getting bored of WoW, so moved over to Neverwinter, and I must say, I have not had this much fun in a long time. Highly suggest. I love the game for what it is. The gameplay and story keep me entertained. However, I really hate how expensive everything is.
I spent a lot of money.
The most interesting customization options are all locked behind very expensive paywalls. If what you're looking for is a fun endgame experience, Neverwinter is not the place for you. Leveling until 70 is genuinely a lot of fun.
Mr.
It's
Bait.
a romp inside the Dungeons and Dragons world.
Baits.
You can play as a bunch of fun classes, and it's all round a good time. That is, if you have friends to play with, and don't plan on trying to keep up with the veteran players, like ever, unless you're a wallet warrior. Even then, good luck. This review was written when level 70 was still the maximum, but the sentiment still applies to level 20.
I can't remember.
If you think I'm being unfair and have just cherry-picked the bad reviews, go to Steam and sort by
I
most
never review
helpful,
anything, even
and
I
then
did.
Scroll down. You'll see players with hundreds or thousands of hours of game time all saying, stay away. It's not what it once was. It's gone from fun action game with grindable in-game currency and rewards to loot boxes.
That's why when people like complain about 14, I'm like, I've seen like worse of the worst. So I don't really have anything else good to compare it to, because I feel like 14 like devs are amazing and they really do listen to their player base compared to like what I was coming from before.
Tokens and paywalls. If anything, I had to dig deep to find the positive reviews. My love
for I think less than a week when it came out, literally, oh my gosh.
for Neverwinter runs deep. I even went out and
Yeah, I
bought
got
the
sucked in
novel
for
the
years
game
afterwards.
is based on. It's a trilogy, starting with Gauntlgrim, which actually used to be a major part of the game. Guild battles, 20 versus 20 in an underground dwarven city, which, again, was removed pretty early on.
It was back
and
when
many
there
years
were
ago,
8
I even
billion
made
MMO.
Why Neverwinter is Dying.
Really?
And watching this video back is
Like, I tried to get into
because
WoW, I
everything
just couldn't.
said was going to happen.
I didn't know there were that many.
Happened. I
I didn't even
really
know
wish
about
it
Final
hadn't.
Fantasy.
I genuinely wish that I've been wrong. So now let's get to the pay to win side, because this is one game I can actually show you step by step.
I'm
why
going to cite this game when I hear War Talk.
free game will often cost you the most money. You've seen the little pop-up adverts on the right-hand side of the screen showing 30% off, double currency, boost happening now. Neverwinter is packed with various currencies, almost a new one for each map. But there are only two that matter: Zen and Astral Diamonds. Zen is a Cryptic Studios thing. Their other games, such as Star Trek Online, also use Zen. It's a universal cross-game currency. And then Astral Diamonds are specific to Neverwinter. You can find unrefined Astral Diamonds in the game and then refine 100,000 a day. Or you can just sell your
Did
Zen
you see the thing
to
that he
other
just clicked?
players
If
for
he
their
clicks
Astral
that
Diamonds.
twice,
So
if he
you
clicks
can
the other tab, you'll see my name on that list as 104 or something. I don't know if it's still up, but yeah, my name used to be on that list for
literally
goodness
just
how long.
buy Astral Diamonds by converting Zen, which you buy with money. Remember this. Once you've leveled to 20 following the main story, you'll start work on the campaigns, which are several month-long grind-based content islands with time gates based on how much you can progress a day, and progressing through a campaign awards boon points which you can spend on permanent buffs. So progression equals power. Now, for what it's worth, the campaigns, even though self-contained, are pretty enjoyable. If you go to the Chult campaign, you'll be killing dinosaurs and getting weapons that do more damage against dinosaurs, but then when you go over to Barovia and kill vampires, all your dinosaur stuff is useless. That's why I call them content islands. They're
Did you
fun,
play
they're a
this
little
as well?
tedious.
Oh my gosh.
They were, until they removed a whole
I feel like the
load
only
of them.
separation they
Remember
kind of had was
Shandar,
like the lack
Dread
of
Ring, the Temple of Elemental
cross-platform.
Evil.
So you didn't get
enjoy
like
the
a
memories. So these
console
boons
players
matter
playing
in
with
PvP
PC
too,
players.
although the PvP scene is dead for reasons you're about to see. What if
Capitalism.
you are busy and you want to progress through the campaigns faster? Well, welcome to the Zen Shop, your one-stop shop for buying power. Join me as
And
I
sometimes your money
literally
got
show
stuck.
you how
You
to
didn't even
buy
see
your
that the
way
Zen that
to
you
Neverwinter
buy.
Endgame in one fell swoop. You need to finish campaigns
like it
to
happened
get the boons,
quite often
but
as
you
well.
can buy
Your money just got
campaign
stuck. You never
boost
got your Zen.
tokens, which unlock the rewards early, or give you bonus rewards for completing them. There are 2 in the shop right now for 700 Zen each, and there's a full completion token for the 3rd campaign for 1,750 Zen. You don't even need to play it, you just get all the rewards. So let's add those to the basket. Now we don't need to spend as much time grinding campaigns. Oh look, a Holy Vorpal enchantment to imbue our weapon with holy damage and hit loads more. That sounds pretty good. That's only 700 Zen. Let's throw that in. And remember the locked races? Well, the Dragonborn race pack is going to set you back 3,500 Zen. But don't worry, it'll make you more powerful than the other races. Oh, and don't go thinking you could save money by just buying the Dragonborn pack on its own. Because look at the cost, 3,500. Now look at the denominations they sell Zen.
They know
in.
what they're doing.
The 3,000 Zen pack
So you can't just buy
comes with a
3K.
bonus of
You have to buy
450.
3K and 5K.
So you're still 50 Zen short. You'll need to buy the higher pack or multiple smaller packs because it's just not enough.
I know,
But
I
what if you
know.
wanted the even better metallic
But
ancestry
I didn't mind. I just
Dragonborn?
kept
Well,
putting
you can
money
only get
into
that
it. I was
in
just like,
older
take my money,
lockboxes,
please.
And you'll need the keys.
Because I had friends
so we'll
on
buy some
there.
keys later.
Ah, okay,
Don't
pink,
worry.
pink.
There's no
Thank
guarantee
you.
you'll get this though. No matter how much money you spend, you might never actually get this. We'll also want
it's
mount,
chances.
but
I
we'll
did.
sort that in a pack
We all
later,
did.
Because remember, mounts have passive
Like it wasn't
buffs
just me.
and combat
Me and my
powers,
friends.
So we're basically
So this
buying
is the map that I
power
was
with this
showing.
because
The one
there's
that I
no
said I
level
grinded for
restriction.
so long.
And we'll need some companions, AI fighters, to help us. And because your companions work in a way like mounts of having passive
We were
buffs,
all
you
throwing
can
money
mix and
into
match
it.
the active buffs.
I mean,
based on which
they were even
companions
worse
you
than
own.
me
So
because
we'll
they
need
were
to buy
doing like the
4
VIP thing
companions
every
to
month.
get the best individual
month.
slot buff, and they're 1,050 Zen
They're all
each.
in
So that's
Greece.
a total of 4,200
So some of
Zen
my
for
VIPs,
companions.
like if you see
Might as
people
well
with
throw in some
VIPs,
extra character
it was
slots
those
while we're
people.
at it, because if we do get lucky,
Because obviously I
pull
was
an
streaming
ancestry
Neverwinter
metallic
when I started
Dragonborn,
streaming.
we'll need to start a new character. So 175 Zen for 2 more character slots.
Orders with like
Here's the mythic
sorry,
mount.
the
Unfortunately,
founder
it's
badges.
inside a pack, which will
Like
set us
if
back
people coming with some founder badges,
10,500
they
Zen.
mostly
But
like
it's
with
okay,
friends that I
because the
played
pack comes with a
14
load of
with,
insignias
with.
to make the mount even more powerful.
Is that
So you're
about
getting your
Diablo
Zen's
thing?
worth.
Oh, no,
Although
no,
we
what
will
about
need to
Diablo?
buy
I've never
another
played
mount
Diablo.
if a better mount attack power comes out in the future, which it definitely
happened
will.
with
So we're
Diablo?
not buying
More
our
drama?
forever mount. We're probably buying the most powerful right now that will last us about a year. We'll need to redo this every year or so. We'll also need to hold all the loot that we pick up while soloing dungeons, and our inventory is limited, so we'll need a 60 slot bag, and that'll cost us 350 Zen. And this will be locked to whichever
How's it going,
character
Mary?
uses
Hope
it,
you're well.
so if we run more than one character, we'll
Oh
need to
my
buy
gosh.
more bags in the future. Remember those lockboxes
Like I was
with the
moaning
metallic
every time I was
ancestry
streaming this. I would
Dragonborn?
be
Well, the
moaning
chance of
that I
getting one is
hated
less than
what they
1%.
did with
Well,
mod
we'll
20.
buy 10
And then
keys,
somebody was
because
like,
there's a
"Oh,
10
try
key bundle
Final Fantasy
for
14."
787
Literally took me like a
Zen.
month
So throw that in the basket
for me
as
to actually
well.
like
We
say,
don't
okay, let
want
me
to
just
waste
download
time
it.
leveling through the story, so we'll buy a boost to 20. That's another 3,500 Zen. Remember, that's just above the threshold, so you're forced to buy the larger pack if you try to buy it alone. By now, we'll
I mean,
want
even
a
this person
weapon.
who's
And if
talking,
we
he
check
played
the
it for years as
market board,
well.
we can find someone selling a rank 14 weapon or armor enchantment choice
11
for
mil
only
astral diamonds.
11.5 million astral diamonds. If we check the Zen to astral diamond exchange and see, currently, players will buy 1 Zen for 750 astral diamonds. That's the maximum the game lets you set it. So we'll need to exchange 15,000
Only what they do is just so pay to win.
that rank 14 pack. It's important and it's doable. But hey, look, while I was browsing the auction house, I found a
gone.
Forge Hammer of Gond artifact maxed out. Artifacts are powerful items anyone can equip and give passive buffs, and that's a really good one. It's only 15 million astral diamonds. That's a nice round 20,000 Zen, but it's worth it for the power.
There's a game called Diablo Immortal, and apparently it's shown as free, but it's only pay to win. Like the only way to get anything done, I don't know anything else about. It's the same with this one as well. It's exactly the same. It says pay to win, but then, I mean, you can still not pay to get through the game. But if you see people like grinding, like for instance, like the Perfect Legend title in Final Fantasy 14, for instance, you can just buy it off the market board. Because you have the money to buy it, and nobody can like flaunt and be like, "Yo, I grinded 100 hours to get this," because you got access to it yourself and just pay to get it. So why would anybody want to grind for anything, you know? Because you've got money, you can just get it. That's why I like 14 and the
so
way
now
like
we pretty
grind
much
for
have our
stuff.
shopping cart, a
It's
max
rewarding,
level boost, a full
rather than
complement
just, like,
of
paying
companions, a mount
to
for
win.
now, a weapon enchantment, our choice of armor enchant, and a decent artifact, along with a new race and some.
1 second. Somebody else joined, so we're trying to do P3 still. I need a third screen, I think. But if I get a third screen, I don't know how I would set up my cam. So I do have a third screen. I just don't have the USB port for it.
Some bags. Everything we need to dominate right out the gate, all for the nice, affordable 64,962
Yeah, but it's gonna mess up my whole thing.
Zen
Like I would
price
have to put
tag.
my
And
camera
remember,
here
this is
because I
during a
can't,
time
like,
when some of
turn
the
it all
items
the
we've
way.
chosen are 30%
Like the
off.
PC,
So this
the
is
screen is
cheaper
all the
than
way
it
there.
should be.
Oh, true. Why?
So how much is this
No,
going
but
to
that's
cost
the thing,
us?
though.
Well, the biggest Zen pack you can buy is 24,000.
Like, I like my
and that
application's
costs
full
you
screen.
£166.
So I can just
we
have,
need
like,
to
the
buy this
game
pack 3 times to get all the Zen we'd
above.
need.
Yeah,
So
that works.
if I spent
works, actually.
£498 or $663 right now, I could start the game at max
Another
level
story.
with high-level
I can fry
companions,
myself here.
mounts, artifacts, an exclusive
I used to have all three,
overpowered
actually,
race, 10 lockbox
but my
pull
PC
attempts,
was
more
struggling.
inventory space with campaigns
But now I don't even
either
have the
already
extra port on my
completed
new
or
PC, so-
boosted for me. If we both started this game at the same time, but I spent £500,000 on it, I would instantly jump months ahead of you, and there is nothing you could do about it.
Yep.
But it gets worse. What if, even with all my power, I still die to a boss? Not a problem. You can spend Zen and buy a Scroll of Life, which just gets you back up, like putting another coin in an arcade
This
machine.
game is
You
so
can buy
bad, I
500
swear
Zen
to
for
God.
$5. So in a boss fight, you can basically
You can't
pay $1
die.
to get back
Imagine
up
doing
whenever
Dragon's
you want.
War
But don't
and
worry,
everybody
the boss
wipes
you're
it, but somebody's
fighting
got a
doesn't
Scroll of
heal.
Life. You just
Meaning
use that
can
and you're back
literally
up.
throw money at this game until you win. But what if that's too selfish? How about a scroll of mass life?
Mass
which
life,
gets your
wake everybody
entire
else up.
team back up. So if you have a whale on your team, you can never lose. Does this mean you could throw an undergeared team at the most powerful boss in the game?
We
and
were
just keep
even
using
grinding
scrolls
because
of
we
mass
had
life?
like so many mass Scrolls of Life. Like we were spamming that thing like it was just precious. We're just using it left, right, center. Was it really grinding if we had access to this stuff? Because we weren't like wiping and restarting again. Somebody would always have this in their backpack and just like spend it. There's a countdown. It gives you like a maybe 60-second countdown to spend it. Or you can just like skip that countdown and, you know, die for real. Exactly. So if you wipe and you have this in your bag, oh, I'm just going to use the Mask Scroll of Life. You know, like it's literally like LV3. It's literally like LV3, but it's like an unlimited amount of LV3. Who played it and spent $10K US? I called it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so easy to burn money. If I count all the money that I spent through Steam and through Arc itself, Jesus Christ, I don't know.
Until it died. Well, yes, because many years ago, I did exactly that. But we're not done yet. Weapons, armor, artifacts, and weapon enchantments need to be refined, and refining points drop very slowly in the game. But don't worry, you can just buy some refining points.
I wasn't even as bad as the people that I played with.
When you refine anything, it might break. And you'll lose your expensive reagents. So why not buy a coalescent ward for 700 Zen, which guarantees the refining process will succeed. You'll only need to refine about 20 items or weapons
it's smart
or
though.
enchantments
Like, who
or
comes up with this
gems
kind
or
of stuff?
artifacts. About 5 times
It's
each
very
when you get
smart.
to the really low chances of success. That means we'll need about 100 coalescent wards to max out a character. That's only 70,000 Zen. That's over £500 again, but don't worry about it. It's worth it. Well, it will be until the new expansion releases and makes your max level armor irrelevant because the uncommon items from the newest expansion are often better than the mythic items.
Look at how shiny they are as well. You want to spend money on them.
Still not done. Because after spending over £1,000, you should probably grab the monthly VIP upgrade. This is a prestige
this one I
system,
never spent money
and
on.
for every month you buy, you'll advance 1 rank. Important to note, it doesn't matter how many months you've been
once in a while I
it's
did,
how
but
many
I
months
didn't
you
like
buy.
subscribe.
So if you buy the
to it.
12-month VIP sub right now, you will start the game and remain at rank 12
I was always a
until
rank
the
1
sub
because I
runs
just
out.
never renewed
So let's
it.
see what you get for the VIP ranks, shall we? Remember, the higher ranks get all the benefits of the lower ranks as well. They add up. If you're a rank 3 VIP, everyone in your party gets plus 1% total HP. And this stacks. Another reason, having a paying player in your party literally makes you more powerful. At rank 4
You want rich
VIP,
friends, basically.
You can open the world map
You
and
want
just
rich
fast
friends who
travel
are all
from wherever you are,
VIPs.
instead of having to do that pesky adventuring thing and find the edge of the map you're currently on, like a
You
loser.
don't even
At rank
how to
7,
make
you're
a game.
completely immune to injuries. Normally, setting off a hidden trap or falling in battle gives you an injury, a small stats debuff, and you need to use an injury kit or wait at a campfire to heal. But nope, rank 7 VIPs just don't get injured. You've paid more money. You don't need to be inconvenienced by things like immersion or mechanics. And at rank 12, you get everything. No posting fees on the auction house, discounts in the Astral Diamonds store, and oh, you can summon your bank from anywhere. So storage is never ever an issue, because returning to the bank
I didn't even know
is
what
such
the
a
perks
poor
were because I was
person
always
thing
stuck
to
on
do.
level 1.
You have transcended the need to be anywhere. Everything
Wow.
comes to you. You can open a shop immediately. You can open a bank immediately.
Yeah,
So
that
how much
one
is
I
this
thought
going to
everybody
cost
just
you?
had
Well,
access to. I
a
didn't even know you had to be
VIP
like rank
upgrade
12.
is going to cost you 3,570 Zen, which, wouldn't you know it, is just only very slightly more expensive
there were
than
bots
the 25
everywhere. Like,
Zen
if you go
pack,
into
meaning,
PvP matches,
no, you've
that's
got
the
to
thing though. The
spend a
PvP here was even nicer than 14 PvP. I'm not even joking. The PvP in Neverwinter was way nicer than 14
a little bit
PvP.
more than the preset pack, so you may as well go up to the
Like, I actually even enjoyed
£42
PvP
pack,
in this
but you'll
game.
need to buy that twice if you want 12 months. If you're watching this and thinking, yeah, but you could just grind for Astral Diamonds in the game and get all that stuff legit through gameplay, yeah, I know you can. I did it. For 3 years, I completed every single campaign. I got almost every mount, every companion. I upgraded all my artifacts.
Dead
I was
game,
at the
I know,
top.
I know.
And then every new expansion reset me to the middle. I made an entire video about how this works, and I had to grind and pay again. You spend 6 months refining your best-in-slot weapon only for a new dungeon to release, and then you discover the trash mobs in the first room drop a better one. That was
Trash
the
mobs.
Neverwinter experience. But let's be thorough. Remember how there's a
Oh
Zen
my
to
gosh.
Astral Diamond exchange? This means you can grind dungeons, get Astral Diamonds as rewards, and exchange them for Zen in the game. So there is a way to get Zen by just playing the game, right? Well,
It would take you
kinda
forever.
right, but let's look at the practicality. First, remember there's
That's
an
why there's so
in-game
many
refining
bots.
limit of only gaining 100,000 Astral Diamonds a
A day.
day. So let's
Yeah.
imagine you manage to play the game, and you earned 750 Astral Diamonds.
I mean, it's better than what it was yesterday.
On the exchange to buy 1
We have
Zen.
almost a full party.
How long would that offer take to be fulfilled? Well,
weeks?
A while, because there's a bit of a backlog, at least on PC. Currently, there is a 65.8 million Zen buy request backlog. Meaning even if you did put an offer in to buy Zen for the
because
maximum
when I started playing the
price,
game, I used to use the system a lot, and it didn't take that long. But then, like a few years down, because I just stopped using it, and I was using dodgy sites to buy Astral Diamonds. And after a while, I came back to the system, and I tried to buy it, and it took like weeks. I'm like, surely this thing was like instant before. I didn't even know there was a backlog.
you would need to wait for all 65.8 million previous requests to be fulfilled. Wow. To put that into perspective, this means right now on PC, in order to fulfill the entire 65.8 million Zen backlog, you would need to buy the £166 pack 2,742 times, which would cost you £455,000, the better part of $600,000, and earn you 49.3 billion Astral Diamonds. If you are still going to defend Neverwinter and still say it's not pay to win, consider
Did anybody
this.
ever say it wasn't?
No matter how long you've been playing or how skilled you think you are, I could spend enough money to be more powerful than you within the hour, and I could beat you in PvP even with my aging reactions because of pay to win. Look, I love this game. It holds a very dear place in my heart, and I'll always smile whenever I think about it. And I still think the journey from start to finish is one of the best action combat MMO journeys you can go on. It's worth playing for the main adventure alone, but I don't like what it has become. It saddens me to see the laziness in development become so overt, and it angers me, because I remember knowing, not thinking, but knowing that this game could be so much better if they stopped being so greedy. Neverwinter used to have possibly the best thing I ever saw in any MMO, something called
PC.
the Foundry. It was a player
the characters with the panda raids on Aether and the light
or stories or levels, and then upload them.
The characters
and then
with the panda. You mean Pandemonium?
Together, and they were some of the best experiences
You're
I've
doing
ever
Pandemonium?
had online. I remember when someone made a Lovecraftian, Cthulhu-inspired haunted mansion one that took you to the
nice.
And then
I do have a character on
Primal,
so maybe if
the
distance travel happens.
kept the ancient power and fought through the good guys coming to stop you. It was inspired. Even the dumb jumping ones, like trying to join the Goblin Special Forces or becoming a spy and travelling deep down into the world, going through assault courses. They were silly but great, which is what D&D is. If anyone ever says to you, oh, I wish there was an MMO where you could make your own adventures and go on them with friends, there was. It was called Neverwinter. It was fantastic, and they killed it. Because this today, this isn't what it was. This isn't a shadow of what it once was. Neverwinter is like having a great D&D group for a few years and going on some great adventures. Then as it goes on, the DM starts asking you to pay a little bit more and a little bit more. Then your equipment gets worse. Then they retcon old adventures. Then they reuse a map you've already explored and insist it's new. And you stay because you remember it being good. But if you were to take an objective step back and a look at your group as it is now, you'd never even start. I love you, Neverwinter, and I always will.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry.
I can't support this. Part of me hopes this isn't goodbye. Some naive part of me hopes you can change and return to your former glory with player-made maps, multiple campaigns, earnable currency, balanced PvP.
Not that long ago, actually.
Fun.
November.
But another more grounded part of me knows it's probably best if I move on. Probably best if I forget.
Honestly, like the best times of my life in this game.
When you were good just makes it even worse when I look at you now.
Like after college, like summertime, I would play this morning till night.
Gather my party.
And there were always people
away from you.
Primal is dead now anyway for Panda.
I will award Neverwinter.
There were always my friends were always online to play.
3,500 Zen.
Why is it great?
Thank you for watching. Thank you again to the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep the channel alive. You can support from only £1 a month. Check the video description for links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and the second channel, Josh Strife Plays, where I replay old games voted on by you. And as always, have a great day.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, even though the game was like really crap, like the friends that you made on that. Obviously, if you like socialize, it was really fun. Hi, my name is Inka, otherwise known as Noobtoons on the internet. I hope you enjoyed that video, but don't forget to subscribe and sign up for notifications for when next I post another video. And don't forget to follow the links in the description for all my socials. I hope to see you at my next go live on Twitch. Bye bye.